Hello, my beautiful friends and beaters and my YouTube family. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back into my channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on my video and spending a little bit of your time with me today. We are going to be making a gorgeous set of crystal jewelry. We're going to just do the necklace and earrings today. I'm so excited. A little bit of an asymmetrical vibe with the color blocking on the opposing sides of this pretty necklace. Very whimsy and lightweight, but so elegant. I'm thinking maybe for your Easter festivities, this is going to be darling and very lightweight. So we're going to get into that. 1 second, my friends, a little light housekeeping. As many of you know, I have been out. I have been under the weather the majority of February. And so I apologize, and at the same time, thank you guys so much for your continued support and your patience so that I could get on the mend and get back right here to my happy place. Oh, with also Splish and Splash. They are also with us today, and they'll be in QC, and they are also feeling better. So, Cloud 9, my February 2026 Sparkle Bag. Cloud 9 collection. What a beautiful collection. Very pastel, right? It's what I call my Easter basket. If you pick that bag up, we have not done a lot, obviously. I've been out most of the month for design inspiration, but there's a lot to do. Mine's a bit of a hot mess, don't judge. But we are going to make something with the makings of this sparkle bag today, and I'll get a couple more up fronts from this bag before we get into March. And then I think we're going to revisit is what I'm kind of thinking about, because also February, you know, guys, it's such a short month, right? And so frustrating. Obviously, I didn't get up as much as I wanted to just to inspire you guys. But you guys are probably making beautiful things, but I will get some more stuff up maybe mid towards end of March. Just some fun ideas I have for some beautiful, dainty, delicate, pastel-y jewelry. I, for one, love Easter jewelry. I love gifting it. It makes a beautiful gift. So, anyway, I'll give you guys some ideas. We're going to make a couple more things, though, before the month wraps. But before we do that, my friends, what do you say that we go back to, if you missed my premiere unboxing of Cloud 9 collection, we picked our challenge card, our monthly Sparkle Bag Challenge. I just started this year. So far, so good. We're 1 month. We're 1 for 1. And so we picked Make and Use. And so I just wanted to remind all of you that are joining me in these little beady challenges. We needed to make a tassel and used something other than rondelles or rounds, a shaped bead, in our tassel for our Cloud 9 collection. So I am going to be doing my challenge in today's project. So today's beady inspiration project is actually including my challenge. But not too difficult, right, guys? Making a tassel. This bag, particularly, my friends, just want to mention, we'll get going in a second here. What a darling collection. But you guys also got some cording, right? And I gave you 3. We've got the baby blue, the pink, and the lavender. And this is the 0.4 millimeters. So if you did not get my sparkle bag, that's okay. Grab whatever you have, or poke on over to my store. I have this cording in the store and some really pretty new colors I just dropped this week. I've got 0.4, 0.5, 0.8 millimeter for cording, I believe, up, and waxed as well, guys. But this is the 0.4 millimeter. So I use this for the entire project and just a few of my own findings. Of course, you can use anything you've got, like I said, in terms of cording. But we're just going to do minimal hardware, minimal metal, and mostly cording, right, where we can. So that's my idea here. We're not even using crimps. We're just going to use our hands and tie knots. So what my idea for this pretty little whimsy darling was to go around 18 inches. I'm using the 2 strands of the teardrop crystals. If you received Cloud 9, you got the teardrops, exactly the same crystal in the baby pink and the clear AB. So what I did was put 29 of each on either side, right? And then we'll finish it off, right? We're gonna do a tassel here with some lark's heads, and then we're gonna make the darling little whimsy, lightweight, matching earrings, and it'll play up on the tassel. Now guys, I was gonna do some macrame and a sliding knot, but the reason I decided not to, although this is lightweight, they are crystals, and I just felt like that was like too boho, too much of a casual look for this particular teardrop crystal. So that's where we're gonna go. I am using from my stash some hardware and finding some clamshells, my friends. Any clasp, any closure that you want. I've got a couple sizes of jump rings. I'll do a lobster and some standard ear wires. That's it. Oh, and I'm using some glue. The Loctite is what I'm going to use. Use your preferred adhesive. And let's get going, shall we? Yay! Yay! I'm so excited. So excited to be back designing. I just love it. And look at how beautiful it is. So, you know, you could use any beads, right? You wanted. You could also do a beautiful pattern. But I thought this was going to look just darling with that color shifting, right? And just blocking those two colors. Wow, I thought, wow, this is really pretty. So if you got the bag, you got a yard of your cording. That's what I'm working with, but that's for the whole thing. The earrings, I did grab some, I think another half a yard. Nevertheless, you can change up your colors too. You got plenty of cording we're talking about in Cloud 9. So I just strung on. Now the only thing I did, guys, was decided I wanted all my teardrops facing up. So if you wanted to do something similar, have a similar kind of symmetry within the asymmetrical coloring blocking, I fed this side on, and then on this side I grabbed this cord to feed them down. Just was easier, you know, but you could feed them on. And again, I did 29 crystals on either side. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a couple of knots. I'm not gonna crimp it. We'll tie a couple of knots, and that will depend upon the size of your clam. Now I grabbed one of my really small clamshells today, but it is glued. It is glued on my earring as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off the necklace. Before we tie this off up here, right, and finish it like we did on the other side, or excuse me, I did on the other side, we need to do our focal, which is just going to be a little whimsy cute tassel. So I'm going to grab some of my cording, and I'm not measuring, guys. I'm just going to eyeball it. And I've already cut some here. So if you wanted, we're going to do lark's heads, right? And make this fun tassel right over the front. So however many, you know, tassels you want, that's how many you'll do. I think I'm going to go with just 2. I'm going to do 2 because that'll give me 4 places on my cording for beads, right? So I am going to grab these 2 pieces, and this one's a little shorter. Let me grab the other piece, guys. Underneath, we're going to grab those loops and those tails, and we're going to push them through one time, pull it a little bit, and then we need to go through a second time, but we have to go through the center this time of all the cords. So like that. And then we're going to pull. And we have a really pretty knot there. Just a regular lark's head, but it is a double. So this is, by the way, reversing why I already finished off one side, right? So I have one side nice and snug up here so that I can get my lark's head in place where it needs to be. So it's a little easier that way. And we'll just pull that together. And I'm going to pull now all 4 of my cords down here for good measure. Just make sure it's snugly on there. And I love a double lark's head because it looks pretty on both the front and the back. Both sides look super pretty. So let me get this pulled down here. So now that that cording is in place, right? That's what I have, right? I am going to go up here and finish up the necklace. So let's shake all of these guys down here. And let me grab a clamshell and my adhesive. And so what I'm going to do here is cut that on an angle. I'm going to feed my cording through the bottom of my clamshell. So the belly facing up this way, I'm going to come from underneath. And let's get that cording in there. Now, I didn't mention anything about preparing the cord, guys. This is 0.4 millimeter. If you're working with something similar, super easy. It's just a smidge thicker than our bead stringing wire, right? So I did not have to prepare my cording to get them through any of my beads. I'm not having to use a beading needle, none of that. Very, very nice cord to work with. So super easy. So I'm just gonna make sure everything is pulled down and still have some movement there. And what I'm going to do, friends, is we're going to do some knots. Now, again, I have a smaller 304 clam here. This is what mine looks like. Okay, so my knot I'm going to tie and glue needs to fit in there. So I don't want it to be too chunky. What I'm going to look for tying my cording is that the hole on the bottom of the clamshell, that the knot can't get past that, right? So that'll be different for all of us, how many knots we do, depending upon how large that hole on your clam is. So I'm going to put it down so it's easier. And I'll just pull that knot completely down there. And let that land right inside my clamshell. Close as I can get it there. Do at least 2, that's for sure. I'm thinking 3. So I'm grabbing that cording way inside of my clamshell there, right? Trying to get it in. This will be a little wiggle room. We want that, that's fine. But I'm trying to get it down as far as I can so that I'm gonna hide this underneath. I wanna close the clam. So this will be my 4th knot, and I think that that's good. Just making sure to get each of them on top of each other. Takes a little finagling, but we can do it. And now I'm going to trim. If you want to singe it here, you absolutely can. I did do some singeing on the earrings. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it as close as I can get it there, and then I'm just going to add a little glue in here. And it'll dry pretty fast. Just a dab. Just need a dab. Close that up. And let's hold that for a second. We'll throw a jump ring on that and be moving down to the tassel next. Adding my final touches here, a jump ring. I ended up doing 2, right? A smaller one and then an 8 because of the little clamshell. So nice little bridge between that. That's what my closure looks like. So nice, simple closure. So what I'm going to do down here, and I'm going to grab at random, right? And by the way, look at how long that is, guys. This is pretty good. Looks like it's about 6 inches, but I'm going to cut it, but I'm not going to shorten it until I'm done putting my beads on. And I'm going to, again, put my teardrops facing up and just feed them on my cording. And then I'll kind of tie them at random, right? Just let them have like a pretty cascading effect. I'm just going to do one on each right now at a time, and then I'll knot on and probably do a couple crystals on each. What I'm thinking. So maybe I want this one to be up. I'm just going to do regular overhand knots, guys. And I'm doing 2 knots on the tassel because it's 0.4 millimeter cording. It's about the same size as the holes on the crystals here. So you'll want to do 2 knots. And now I'll just kind of tie them off at random here. I'm pretty well finished with my knotting here on the tassel for the necklace. And of course you can personalize this, do as many as you want. You could have also color blocked. That's what I did. Okay, I put them on at random. So I have met my challenge for February, make a tassel. It's a really dainty, pretty tassel. I didn't want it to be too many crystals down here. I like all that whimsy, loose cording. It is just darling. To finish this off, guys, I am going to basically singe. So I'm just gonna cut really close with my scissors. And then we'll grab the lighter and do some singeing. If I can find the lighter. I don't see the lighter. Okay, I will singe off camera right there at the edge. You guys see me do that before. And I'm doing some more cording with this bag anyway, so if you're not familiar with singeing, stay tuned, right? Because I have some more knotting projects coming up with this bag. So that is what that looks like. I think it's just so beautiful, so whimsy. It's very, very classy too. It's just great for dress up, right? Just beautiful, gorgeous, but very simple. It was really just a knotting project. Doing those double arc studs right there though, that's a vibe, guys, and it's so simplistic, right? And it blends right into the crystals, right? So that's what that looks like. I basically, the same thing I did here for like just tying overhand knots, friends, is what I did for our earrings. Let's put that over there. And then tied the knots up here, same way I finished the necklace. So on my particular clams, I was able to get 4 pieces of cording, it looks like through there. Yeah, 4 pieces of cording. So that'll put as many, on here as you want, depending upon, obviously, how big your clamshell is. You can also do just 2, So I'm going to grab my clamshell and some cording. And again, I'm not going to really trim it to length until after I get it on there. So I'm going to make some fairly long pieces here. And then we'll trim them after. So I need 4. There's 3. And 4. And we'll get them all together and through that clamshell. Now, if you have any trouble, you can expand and open your clamshell, right? But this is a really small, I think that's a 0.2, or these are 4 or 3 by 2, these clams, yeah. So it might be a little fussy, you might have to do one at a time, but we'll get them all through. And then we'll tie an overhand knot and glue it and close it up. You can also try to get them on going from the top down. It might be easier. Just put all 4 cords together because I decided to put 4 on this clam, right? And do as many pieces of cording as you want. We'll just do one overhand knot, pull that nice and tight, and then we'll flush cut, and then I'm going to glue it and close the clamshell. Pull that up. Get a dab of glue in here. Close that on up. Now, if I have any cording poking out there on the top of my clamshell, I can grab a lighter, just singe it away. Just really have to pop it on earwire on here. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did on my necklace and just tie some two overhand knots. Two overhand knots on each time I'm feeding on a crystal. And I'm just putting them on at random. So I'm also feeding the narrow portion on my cording up, the narrow portion of the bead. And we'll just do some more knotting. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's beady inspiration. I'll put in the thumbnail which project this is. I'm not sure, out of Cloud 9. And you guys will try those. It's so whimsy, guys. Very lightweight. This will also make a really great gift for anybody, or if you're selling your jewelry. This is a really pretty one. Oh, that didn't work. This is a pretty one, guys. I think this will be a good seller, especially with, you know, cording and all that, trending leather, more boho trending this year, for sure. Okay, so we'll just flush cut, but don't cut the knot. And again, both of my earrings, you know, they're similar, but they're not the same, right? So there's all those cut off. And so I'm just going to grab my lighter here, guys, and just singe the edge of that cord right up to where the knot is. Just seal that in. But don't singe your bead or your finger like I almost just did. I think we're probably pretty good here. And I'll do the same on the tassel for the necklace that I didn't already do. So there's our lovely earrings. Aren't they darling? Just darling. Love those. And our necklace. Let me get those edges singed really quick. And like I said, I hope you all enjoyed. We're inspired today to grab some cording and some beautiful crystals or beads, whatever floats your boat, and make a darling, lightweight, whimsy beaded necklace with a simple tassel. There we go, my friends. Voila. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until next time, friends, keep sparkling.